Mary Elizabeth Winstead joins Rosario Dawson in the Ahsoka TV series. This is old news, but I wanted to talk about it because still not a lot of people know about some of the casting that's been going on with the Ahsoka series, and I want to cover everything here. Plus, a while back, I did a community post where I posted this news, and I asked you guys who you thought Mary Elizabeth could be playing in the Ahsoka series, and I got tons of responses, and I wanted to talk about them here today. A lot of people had similar answers. I want to kind of go through them and talk about why I think some could be possible and some could definitely not be possible, but there were also some responses that people had some very interesting ideas about, and I wanted to break them down with you guys. My name's Han. You're listening to Han Talks First. Let's get started.
So who talks first? You talk first? I talk first.
So for the past several weeks, scratch that, for the last several months, we've been getting a lot of casting news about the Ahsoka Tano series, and it's making me super excited for this. It was also confirmed back in December that Dave Filoni had almost finished wrapping up of the script, which is why we've been getting more and more casting announcements because they are well way into pre-production for this show. Don't get too antsy because it's not supposed to come out for a little over a year, but let's talk about some of the cool announcements that have already happened. So we all know, of course, Rosario is going to be playing Ahsoka. She made her debut in The Mandalorian Season 2 and she killed it as Ahsoka Tano. She brought total life to this character and breathed this new essence of what she could be in a live action form. It was kind of perfect casting. Perfect casting that fans had been requesting for a little while, so it was kind of cool to see that come to fruition. Now on top of that, other casting rumors we've heard are things such as the casting of Ezra, the casting of Thrawn, the casting of Sabine, and of course, Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker. All of these casting rumors can lead us to kind of make assumptions on what this show is going to be about, even though there is no confirmation on what is going to happen during this show, except for maybe if you want to include the hunt for Grand Admiral Thrawn, which Ahsoka stated at the end of Mandalorian. So before I get into telling you who is playing those characters, I want to jump in and answer some of the comments you guys left on my community post and see who you think Mary Elizabeth could be playing. So the first one is actually something I did not think anyone was going to recommend, and that is Princess Leia. As you can see, there was a lot of people that suggested that Leia could be in this show. I don't think it's necessary, and some of you even said that yourselves, but a lot of people had commented that her facial structure, resembles Princess Leia a lot, and I thought that was something worth mentioning. Nothing's impossible, I'm going to say that. I mean, they could have flashbacks, and they could have Mary playing Princess Leia. I mean, hey, if it was a different time and a different story, I think that would be pretty cool. But only if it was something short and sweet, like a cameo appearance, or something like at the end of Rogue One, where it was just her turning around and saying one line. That's kind of cool with me. But other than that, Carrie Fisher is Princess Leia, and her swan song was The Last Jedi. Some of you might say The Rise of Skywalker, but her swan song was The Last Jedi, and she's always played remarkably as Princess Leia. I personally wouldn't want to see another actor come in and play her, but I'm open to any ideas. Good storytelling is good storytelling. I had two people comment and recommend that she could potentially be playing Barriss Offee. Now, these were pretty interesting. For those of you that don't know, she is a Jedi Knight. She was heavily in the Clone Wars animated series, but she also made live-action appearances before as well. She was a Jedi. She was the Padawan of Luminara. And she, of course, is most infamously known by the fans as the person who betrayed Ahsoka Tano. She is primarily a culprit in the bombing attacks on the Jedi Council during the Clone Wars and actually went so far as to frame Ahsoka for that. But what makes it an interesting connection with her is that they used to have a very strong relationship before that. Now, if I'm not mistaken, and this could be not canon, but I think Barriss had died from like an AT-ST attack or something like that. Now, again, that could be expanded universe, and we do know that Star Wars loves to take canon with a grain of salt and kind of, do whatever they want to. So I don't know. I don't think Barriss is an option going forward with, Mary's casting, but hey, it was a cool recommendation. And it makes sense to bring in characters like that who have rich past history with Ahsoka. Now, these next couple are when a bunch of people started to get on a similar page, and I kind of wanted to address this most because I've done a video on it in the past and kind of broken the news months ago. I think it was back in November. But a lot of people are suggesting Sabine. Moff Tucker, he writes in and says, I think Sabine and also Leia are good guesses. Another one for Leia. Dan Alnewick, I'd put my money that she's playing Sabine. Christopher Jackson says she seems a good visual choice for Sabine Wren. Ethan Schmid says maybe she's going to be Sabine. James Kane says Sabine Wren. They both go looking for Thrawn and Ezra together. Your old pal Victor says Sabine, probably. And Dalt Wayne says Sabine. And finally, Alex says Sabine. Well, first of all, thank you guys so much for submitting those answers to my inquiry, but I want to let all of you know, and I've said it in the comments already, I did a video on this a while ago talking about the casting of Sabine Wren. It was confirmed by Deadline months ago that Sabine will be played by Natasha Liu Bordizzo, and I'm not familiar with her work, but I am happy that they casted an Asian woman to play the role because that's kind of what Sabine was based after. Another cool fact about Sabine Wren, I did an interview with the original prototype for Sabine. Her name's Yessie Riviera, and we talked for like an hour on my show. I asked her about her experience with Lucasfilm, her experience with Star Wars Rebels, and all that kind of stuff, and she was the original Disney character for a long time. If you guys are interested in that, I will link it up here in the corner, and you guys can check that out. It's a really great interview, and maybe I'll have her on the show some other time soon. Now, since we talked about the casting of Sabine, I want to move in and kind of let you guys know about the other two castings that were confirmed in the show too. Well, I guess 3 if you're counting Hayden Christensen. Hayden is back. He's playing Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader again. It's an interesting piece to bring up again because, of course, Anakin and Ahsoka have a rich history, being Padawan and Master for the longest time, and I don't really know where else they could go. I mean, one thing in particular is that their relationship kind of left off, as far as we know, on that Sith relic where they were fighting in Rebels Season 2. And this, of course, being a time period shortly after Anakin falls to the dark side. And it was kind of a duel of the fates in a way, because one of them was going to die, and it was most likely going to be Ahsoka Tano, but she was pulled, as we know, from Ezra in the World Between Worlds, and so we didn't get to see that fight come to an end. But a lot of people do speculate maybe we will get a final showdown in Ahsoka versus Vader again. Hey, look, I think it'd be cool. I don't know how it could work canonically. I don't know how it could make sense. Considering the time period, Vader is gone. Vader is dead. I want to offer you another possibility. Anakin Skywalker returns as a Force ghost to help guide Ahsoka, to reconnect with his former Padawan, catch up on old times, grab a drink, talk about their mutual hate of sand, have a smoke and a pancake, pipe and a waffle, a flapjack and a cigarette, a bong and a blitz. Once I start, I can't be stopped. Anyway, I think that option is the most likely. I would love to see it. It would be kind of like a similar Obi-Wan to Luke Skywalker, talking to him on Dagobah type of situation, just guiding him through her final days or her final missions, so to speak. So I think that'd be cool. On top of that, Ezra and Thrawn, they're coming into the show. Ezra will be played by Mina Massoud, who was most recently Aladdin in the new live-action Disney film. I think this is perfect casting. I mean, even watching Rebels for my first time, I said, this show is Aladdin. Ezra is Aladdin. It's Aladdin. The only thing missing is a frickin' magical carpet. So maybe Mary Elizabeth Winstead is playing a magic carpet, and Mina Massoud will ride her through I came out the wrong way. Scratch that. Erase that from your memory, please. And then the other one is Thrawn, who is actually going to be played by Lars Mikkelsen, who is Mads Mikkelsen's brother, who was in Rogue One playing Jyn Erso's father. All the strings are connecting. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be wild. And great casting for that as well. Again, we talk about this all the time on my podcast, which you can feel free to stop by every week. We usually go live on Sundays, but since Boba Fett's out, we're doing it on Wednesdays now. And we cover news and all kinds of stuff there. But as far as some of the other predictions, you guys said that Mary Elizabeth Winstead could be playing Well, let's go through and see what you guys are saying. So Christian Puddington says, I get the Leia connection, but considering Ahsoka is looking for Thrawn, perhaps she'll be playing someone else from the Chiss Ascendancy. I loved this comment. It's something I hadn't thought of before, and I think it would be really cool. I mean, Mary Elizabeth Winstead playing a villain could be badass. I don't know if you guys have seen most of her work. She's very dynamic in the body of work she chooses, and I think from what I can remember, she hasn't played a villain yet. I mean, she's played bad guys, of course, or like tough girls, but not really villain, and I think maybe she could do it. And to be a Chiss would be really great too, to be the right hand to Thrawn, maybe even a like Inquisitor style Chiss. I think that'd be rad. MG Michael says she must be using some ancient Sith magic because she gets more and more beautiful every time I see her. I love this comment. First of all, it's a very cute comment. Good job, MG. But also, what if she is a Sith? It kind of goes off the Chiss Ascendancy thing, but what if she's a Sith? That would be sick. Now, the Sith are dead at this time period, of course, but that doesn't mean something similar can't rise again, because that type of alchemy still exists. And actually, you know what? Palpatine comes back. I forgot. Damn it, Palpatine. We're ruining everything. Mary Elizabeth Winstead is Palpatine. What if that's the connection? Anyway, Sith. Do you guys think she could be a Sith? I mean, it looks like some people are going for the villain route, which I think is a good thing to speculate on, because so far everyone else who's been announced is kind of a hero or anti-hero. Thrawn. Gandhi the Great says probably a new character we have never met. I assume you mean never met before. I think, honestly, this is probably the most likely, because what do Star Wars fans want to see the most? New characters, new planets, new stories, new missions, all that kind of stuff. And this is a great opportunity to do that. You know, a new or a relatively younger actress and a new series, a series that's based on an old character. So to introduce new characters with that would complement the show really well. And then it could also give Kate Winslet a little less pressure to form her own role, you know, create her own character in the universe. Matt Maringolo says maybe she will be the voice of Ahsoka. Doesn't seem worth it to record lines and try to sync up the audio, but it would be nice to have the original Ahsoka voice. I think my only comment to that is like, well, why not just get, if you're going to re-record the voice, why not get Ashley Eckstein, you know, who was the original voice and who actually really wanted to play Ahsoka live action, and she was a little sad about it, but hey, it is what it is. I definitely don't think this is what's going to happen, but hey, thanks for the comment. Josh Long says no one may be considered young Ahsoka. That was interesting too. You know, I mean, the age difference between Mary and Rosario are not that far off. And I also think there is a height comparison there. But hey, I think if they do a young Ahsoka, it's getting into dangerous territory, because we already know young Ahsoka. You know, jumping to an older version of Ahsoka in Rosario, there was nothing established yet. But we've had 8 seasons of Clone Wars to know the younger version of Ahsoka. Erks Collectible says a young Vice Admiral Haldo. Just kidding, haha, I hope she's a bounty hunter. A bounty hunter's a good idea too. I mean, we do know that Disney Plus loves bounty hunter shows and bounty hunting and all that kind of crap. This could be a possibility too. I mean, again, kind of leading into the villain route, maybe anti-hero route, but definitely. And then it could probably tie in with Mandalorian, which I'm pretty sure they want to tie in with other stuff as much as they can. Joe Savoy says that's Sabine. Whoever thinks that's Leia, you're delusional. Okay, well, maybe you're delusional because she's also not Sabine. We just talked about it, but yeah, guys, go watch my video. I break down everything there. Possibly Mara Jade. Okay, Aaron Drew, this is actually a good... did you hear how I said that? Good. That's what happens when I lose track of what I'm going to say. Mara Jade is a cool guess. Again, I don't think this is going to happen, but maybe Mary Elizabeth would be a great part for this. Mara Jade being created by Timothy Zahn, who wrote the Thrawn books, and Thrawn is showing up in the show. It could have connections. I think it'd be pretty cool. Luke Skywalker's alive at this time. Maybe they want to bring them together. Actually, the more I think about it, the more I like it. Anakin Skywalker. Anakin? You watch my show? A freaking honor, dude. Anyway, Anakin says Ventress. No, I'm kidding. Hey, it would be cool. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I would love to see live action Ventress Asajj Ventress, and to get like an entire movie actually based around the planet of Dathomir with the Night Sisters, and then with Darth Maul's people, Dathomirians, all that kind of stuff. I think that'd be fantastic. Vader Chasm says Disney will make her Darth Vader because that's what they do these days. Okay, so I didn't understand this comment, but I just thought it was funny and I just wanted to share it. Ortega Peru says maybe Dr. Aphra. Okay, this was another very interesting one that no one else said, and I wanted to highlight it. Dr. Aphra, of course, being from the comic books. And we've seen them implement that into TV shows already with Black Chrysanthemum, who was in Boba Fett. And maybe they want to expand on that, you know? Now, to be honest with you, I haven't read any of them. I know a little bit about them, but I'm not interested in comic books. Not because they suck. Because if I start spending money, I'll keep spending money. I mean, do you not see this tower of Funkos behind me? We're Star Wars fans. We're broke. We spend all our money on Star Wars. Anyway, guys, that was all the comments. I want to start doing more of this stuff and replying to everybody. I already reply to everyone in the comment section, but maybe start making videos and highlight some of you who joined the conversation. If any of you have topics you want to maybe see me discuss here, let me know in the comment section. And again, check out the Boba Fett reviews. We're doing them every week. We just did Chapter 5, Chapter 6 next week, 2 more episodes, and the show is over. Also, tell me what your favorite and most anticipated series coming soon is. For me, it's Obi-Wan. Thank you guys so much for all the support. You know, we just almost at 2,000 subscribers. We just hit 1K a couple weeks ago, which is amazing. Hit the like down there. If you want to listen to this on a platform other than YouTube, check it out on Spotify, Amazon, Stitcher, Overcast, anywhere you listen to podcasts. And now, my friends, somehow, someway, somewhere this week, may the Force be with you.